Okay, which finding from the researcher's study, if true, would most directly support the researcher's conclusion? So, as I told you, in these types of questions, the options could be unrelated and with the passage, right? Okay, so let's start reading the passage. So the onsets of growing seasons in Alaska have been shifting earlier, potentially enabling increased carbon dioxide absorption through greater productivity of mooseberry. So carbon dioxide absorption and mooseberry, right? So if you plant mooseberry more, there will be more absorption of carbon dioxide. So the air is going to be cleaner. And other vegetation, but also potentially enabling increased CO2 output. Look, how is it also enabling the output? Greater heterotrophic respiration. CO2 generated by the activity of soil microorganisms. So the microorganisms are reviving, and this is causing a problem. Hydrologist Something and her colleagues modeled seasonal changes in net CO2 in Alaska in a landscape grid of 1 square kilometer cells, okay, and again in a grid of 10 kilometer square cells, which are finer resolutions, okay, than most models of net CO2 have achieved. The researchers concluded that, I think this is the answer, concluded that variations in landscape affect net CO2 in ways that most models are too coarse to capture. Okay, so it's about this 1 kilometer cell and 10 kilometer square cell, then resolution of it. It all changed. It's compare it, right? Yeah, it's a variable. So let's start reading from option D. When seasonal fluxes in average CO2 absorption and heterotrophic respiration were modeled using a grid of 1 kilometer square cells, much more data, see? The amount of data gathered, I think it's then D. Much more data were generated than when seasonal fluxes were modeled using a 10 kilometer square grid cell. So if it's like narrower, right, if it's not too broad, then it's better. Though the two models reported identical net CO2. And here, affect net CO2 in ways that most models are too coarse to capture. Okay, so they are just explaining how they captured the CO2 levels. Let's look at C. Lower average heterotrophic respiration rates were found. No, it's not about the seasons. It's about the land. No correlations between seasonal. And remember, when it's speaking too strict, like no or absolutely or 100% or impossible, these kinds of words, if they are used, most probably they are not the answer unless it's included in the text. So it's nothing is said in here that is like impossible or something. So then it's gonna be, we are also eliminating B. And let's just look at it again. This is also gone. Higher average heterotrophic respiration rates were found for summer months. Again, it's comparing the summer and the winter, etc. And
was it written there that is in summer? Not right.
In here, I mean, is the most important thing in here is about the area, the area and the resolution of it, and the landscape, not the temperature or seasons. So A is also gone. Then the answer is D.
D. They're like they tell the fact of the last sentence.
Yes, it's factual information. Yes, that's why the answer is D.